Well, hello there. My name is sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Last time I took Adelaine here around Fungal Grotto, and today I wanted to show you what I've done with her build. Let's start with the obvious change, namely Oakensoul. This is a mythic item from High Isle. When worn, the ring prevents you from switching weapons and grants you Minor Slayer, Minor Aegis, Empower, Minor Courage, Major Resolve, Minor Fortitude, Minor Intellect, Minor Endurance, Major Prophecy, Major Savagery, Minor Protection, Minor Berserk, Major Sorcery, Minor Force, Major Brutality, Minor Heroism, and Minor Mending. As the Oakensoul broke my armor set, I chose to give up my monster set to keep both 5-piece sets intact. I have Adelaine wearing the Stygian set, which gives a boost to weapon and spell damage and offensive penetration. With a whole set equipped, your weapon and spell damage is increased for 15 seconds when you leave Sneak or Invisibility in combat. This is an overland set that drops from Cold Harbor. For our second 5-piece set, I stuck with Noble Duelist Silks. This drops from Blessed Crucible, a group dungeon in the Rift. Noble Duelist Silks adds to weapon and spell damage and stamina recovery. With 5 pieces equipped, you increase the damage of your light and heavy attacks against monsters when you deal damage with either at melee range. I really like this set and highly recommend picking it up. But if you don't feel like farming in a group dungeon, I still recommend the War Maiden set from Vardenfell. For my last armor piece, I have chosen the Krag Helm. This drops when you slay the last boss in Fungal Grotto 1 in Veteran. The Krag Helm adds to offensive penetration. I originally had Adelaine walking under the Lover boon, which further adds to penetration. I feared it might all be too much and switched to the Apprentice. This adds a boost to spell damage, and I feel that in the environments I usually stick to, Adelaine does more damage with the Apprentice boon. Let's move on to abilities now. First, on our only weapon, a lightning staff, I have Escalating Rune Blades. This sends runes to fly out at enemies. The runes all do damage in 3 stages with escalating damage numbers. The last rune explodes and deals damage to all enemies nearby. The runes also create cracks. The amount of damage this deals is increased by each active crux, so it pays off to have all 3 active when using this. Next, we have Pragmatic Fate Carver. This is a channeled ability which costs Magicka when used. When cast, Pragmatic Fate Carver consumes all crux to increase damage done and decrease the cost. The maximum channel time is 4.5 seconds, and during that time, all those who come in contact with the green beam take a set amount of magic damage. When cast, Pragmatic Fate Carver also grants a damage shield that absorbs incoming damage and grants immunity to being interrupted. Or at least it should, but boss enemies seem to have a way around this. Then we have Tentacular Dread. This inks and immobilizes enemies while doing a set amount of frost damage. The effect lasts for 20 seconds at a time, and during that time, the inked enemies take more damage. This also consumes all crux. Each crux spent increases the damage Tentacular Dread does. Next, we have Blood Mist. This allows Adelaine to leap at unsuspecting enemies as red mist to deal a set amount of magic damage every 2 seconds for 20 seconds at a time. While this is active, Adelaine also heals for a fraction of damage done. As I use this to trigger the Stygian set, I feel it's best to disturb enemies before leaping at them. Sometimes I open with Rune Blades, sometimes Tentacular Dread. Perhaps 3 Rune Blades and Tentacular Dread followed by Black Mist would be most effective. Last, we have Evolving Runement. I keep Adelaine on Vampire Stage 4, which means she has no health recovery. Therefore, I need a quick, easy way to heal both in and out of combat. Runement does just that. It restores missing health instantly and also heals friends. And since it generates crux, it also feeds Adelaine's other abilities. For our ultimate, the Swarming Scion. Senilia failed at slaying all 3 precursors. Let's see if Adelaine does any better. Not all bad, I'd say. Adelaine's abilities mostly come from Herald of the Tome, Curative Rune Forms, and Vampire skill lines. I would encourage you to get all passives from these skill lines, along with passives from Dark Elf and Light Armor skill lines. Let's end with a quick look at champion points. In Warfare, my active stars are Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Thaumaturge, and Untamed Aggression. In Fitness, I've gone with Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Boundless Vitality. In Crafts, I have Master Gatherer, Treasure Hunter, Homemaker, and Plentiful Harvest. The Oakensoul ring is my favorite mythic item so far, and it seems to work pretty good for Adelaine. I really like the way this build turned out. Adelaine was fun to play with before, but now she is very straightforward and even easier to handle. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all later. Ta!